Hey guys, welcome back
to another episode.
on We Think Biblically. It's been a while.
Yes, it has definitely been a while, and
Turn that thing down like you did earlier.
turn that down a little bit.
Yeah,
That sound
there.
better?
Yes.
Okay, so we got some different mics because the ones we was using just really didn't sound good as we got listening
Sounded
to the
really bad.
quality.
I don't even know how this is going to sound though,
Yep,
honestly.
we don't know how these are
This
gonna
is the
sound
first time
either.
we're using these,
Yep,
so.
just got them out of the box. So, guys, it has been a while since we recorded an episode, over a month.
Over a month, yes. I really hear echo now.
Yeah,
You?
it sounds a little echoey, possibly, but we will roll with it and
Okay.
see what happens. Um, it's
Yeah,
been a,
so it's been over a month since we recorded an episode.
and we wanted to. Nothing really. Like
I
everything's
just
been
took a
going
little
good
break.
with Brianna and the pregnancy. She's doing well.
Thankfully, yes.
Just normal issues with pregnancy, but it was getting hard for her with school, with Finney 4, then trying to do personal Bible study, like reading, studying, and then plus on top of that,
Struggle.
you have the podcast. And I know at first we was doing it like weekly, and then we said, that was just
And I
too.
haven't been sleeping hardly
Yeah, she's been having a
either.
hard time sleeping. And then we went from like doing it weekly to like
Every 2 weeks.
every 2 weeks, which
was.
it's still a struggle sometimes when you have to have personal study, then studying for the topic of the podcast, and then
Plus doing
kids,
homeschool
school,
with kids, pregnancy.
pregnancy. So there's a lot going on there, guys, and we're just trying to juggle everything that we can and still be faithful to the Lord. And I don't ever just want to get on here and us record an episode just for the sake of recording an episode. The main goal behind it all is just to glorify God in all that we say and all that we do. And if there ever comes a point where that is not what we're seeking to do, we will quit this and I will just delete it and we will no longer do it. We want to glorify God and honor Him in all that we say and do, and encourage other believers to think biblically, to use their Bibles, to allow it to be the ultimate authority in their life. So, once again, before we get started, overlook the poor audio quality if this is not no good.
Hopefully it's good.
We hope it sounds better, but if not, we will.
The other mics was really bad. So
the other mics was really bad.
Somewhat better.
If not, we'll return to the old mic. We intend on
the very first mic we used.
Yep, we intend on uploading some new content, like getting some new episodes out there. We have tons of ideas, a lot of stuff we can do, a lot of topics we can cover. But this one here is coming in at a pretty important time. Halloween is 2 days away. Not tomorrow, but the next day. This is we're recording this on Wednesday. Well, it's actually Thursday now, 12 o'clock. But we got a day before Halloween, you might as well say, and we just want to kind of warn Christians. I was gonna say we want to kind of warn believers, and then we also want to encourage believers at the same time as for the opportunity that is being presented.
We also want to say too, but we recorded a Halloween episode in 2024. It's episode 53. If you want to go back and listen at it, it'll have way more.
Yes, and there won't be no video for that episode. That was before we was doing the video uploads. But we are gonna pin that in on our Facebook page. We're gonna pin that video on there. We'll try to have it on there and get that back again. But that one there, we really go in depth, like the origins of Halloween, and just talk about like a bunch of stuff. It's probably like 30 minutes to.
Actually, it's like almost an hour long.
Okay, it's like over 30 minutes long. So
I just looked at it.
We cover a lot of different things in there, and we ain't gonna. I told Brianna I don't see the point in just keep
42 minutes long.
42 minutes. So we got a pretty lengthy episode there on Halloween, and again, we're not just giving our thoughts and opinion. We're actually digging into the origins of Halloween in that episode and
our beliefs that we used to have on it, and then how we've changed.
Yeah.
Is also on there.
Yes, and we'll kind of discuss them getting into this little short episode. But I say short, we'll end up being long anyway. But we touch on a lot of different things in that, so we highly encourage you guys. I ain't just gonna keep recording the same episodes over and over and over just as the years go by. We can reference them, go back, check them out. That one, we highly recommend you guys check it out. For those wondering if
Yeah,
a Christian should celebrate Halloween, go back and give it a listen. You want to know the origins of Halloween? We try our best to explain that and go over how it came about. So we encourage you guys
yeah,
go back and give it a listen again. It'll be audio only.
yeah. No
Okay.
video.
With that being said, before we get into this episode, these are some things I try never to let my personal feelings or emotions
Beliefs, like your personal, like your.
or my personal convictions for myself. I try to never present that as something that is for everybody. Okay, and let me use what I'm saying here. Say I have a problem of going out when I go golfing. If I go, I don't much anymore. But anyway, say I have a problem when I go out golfing. I get angry. I break my clubs. I'm mean to everybody, and I just get like I'm the most terrible person ever. And I say, you
I've
know what?
never seen him do
This
this,
is
but
not good for me as a Christian. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm allowing this to become a sin the way I'm handling myself, the way I am conducting myself. Okay, so I can take something that is not sinful and I can make it sinful for me. Okay, now just because I act that way onto a golf course, I don't, but I'm just using this as an example. I can't go up to everybody that says they like golf and be like, "Oh man, you shouldn't do that. That's wrong." Don't. There's some things that may be wrong for us because the way we handle ourselves and the things that we do that may not be wrong for somebody else. Golfing would be one of those. Okay. This here, however, that we are going to be talking about is not one of those topics. Halloween is not something just of a personal conviction or just my strong feelings of dislike or something I don't agree with. But the problems with Halloween that we are going to talk about is from Scripture. And I know it will show me in the Bible where it says anything about it don't say the word Halloween, but it says all
yeah,
that Halloween stands for, all that Halloween celebrates. The Bible condemns. The Bible tells us to
stay away from
to
it.
abstain from those things. And I know many people will say, well, and we touched on this into the other episode. I'm just doing this for fun. We're not doing it for these other things.
That's what I used to say.
That is how people get started in a lot of things, just doing stuff for fun. Do you know, and I know this is probably a dark way to go at something and probably a poor example. Do you know many people that as drug addicts today tried their first drug for fun? It was just to have fun. It was just doing it for fun with their friends or whatever. Do you know the
Mm-hmm.
first time maybe an alcoholic took a drink of alcohol? It was for fun. It was for a good time. Just because your
I'd say, oh, it's
intentions
just for
are for
fun, but that's a
fun,
little bit more extreme.
that's
But
extreme. I know, but just because you're doing something for fun and your intentions may be good, let me remind you, the enemy's intentions are never good towards you, and he looks for
yeah.
any opportunity, any open door that he can have to come
Mm-hmm.
in and to bring havoc in your
And
life.
Halloween's a super easy one for him to step right on in.
Yes, and I will remind you guys of a Bible verse in 1 Peter 5:8. It says, "Be sober minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the
Yeah.
devil, prowls around like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour." And guys, he don't just hold back on certain people, but he's looking for any person he can to devour you. And while
Mm-hmm.
you're just thinking it's all about a good time, it's just fun and games.
Or okay, listen. I one time, well, there was 3 times I dressed 24 up, and he was never on board with it, never. But I did it anyway because I didn't really. At that time, I wasn't really convicted by Halloween, but I dressed 24 up as a little puppy the first year, and it eventually he'll as he would got older he would have wanted to pick out his own costumes or whatever, and maybe one day he wanted to dress up as like it or Michael Myers or something.
Right,
You just never know what they're gonna choose once they grow up,
right.
and it's a good thing to stop them now while they're younger, now that I
Yes,
realize it.
true.
At that time I didn't realize it, and I didn't really want to stop because it was fun, right?
Right.
But it's not good to keep participating in something that's not biblical.
Yes. And the devil just ain't gonna come up with horns and a tail and a pitchfork and like, I'm the devil,
And even some
just
kids even want to be the devil for Halloween.
right. But he disguises things, guys. He masquerades as an angel of light. He tries
Yeah.
to make it seem harmless, tries to make it seem fun. And let me just TV today, and we touched on this again into the other episode. TV has glamorized Halloween. Stores and
Mhm.
different has glamorized what Halloween is. They'll make little witch costumes or little demon costumes for newborns
And they're
and
actually really kind of cute.
and be like, oh, it's so
But
cute. And all they are simply doing is just trying to twist it, manipulate it in a way that
making
makes
it
it more
cute, making it
palatable for young kids. And
it's
that's how they get
okay.
sucked in. And exactly
Mhm.
what Brianna said, listen, we did not do anything demonic. That was strictly, I was never on board with it.
He
But
was not
again,
on board with it. All I did, I honestly just dressed him as a puppy. Never took him trick or treating. He's never been trick or treating a day in his life.
I am 30-year-old and I have never been trick or treating. Now,
I can't say that. I've been trick or treating my whole life.
that was never for the reason of I was not raised in a Christian household. I was not brought up, serving the Lord, and I wasn't brought up that way. I was brought up basically in a normal way. Whatever we wanted to do, we could do it. We had morals, just like normal worldly morals, but we didn't have no spiritual disciplines, and we did not follow the Bible. But we didn't participate into trick or treating because where we are from, the neighborhood we lived into around Halloween, people would be drinking, people would be acting crazy, they'd be driving fast, and my mom and dad never did want to take us out to just avoid an accident or something that could have happened. So we would make like a bonfire or something at home. We would roast weenies and marshmallows in our
And
own
bacon.
way, though, and
Weird.
bacon.
But
In our own way, guys, we still celebrated Halloween. We had costumes, and all we done was ran around our yard with them. But we still had costumes. We still celebrated Halloween, just in
and
our
I
own
went
way.
trick or treating when I was a kid, all the way up till I was like what, 14, because I was so little, nobody could even tell I was 14.
I have no clue, but um, I cannot condemn somebody, and I'm not saying I. It is not my place to say if you're going to heaven or hell.
No, you
That
don't know that,
that's not
but
my place. That's not Brianna's place. We would never try to. We
never.
cannot say you were going to hell because you dress your kids up and you take them trick or treating. What I would simply, how we want to come across here recording this episode is we want to caution you. Be careful. It's not always fun and games. It's a sad thing
Yeah.
when you start out doing something for fun that could later on be the demise or the downfall of your kids or yourself and get you involved in different things that you could have otherwise avoided. Like Brianna said, and that was a perfect example. And I've told her this, I tried I tried coming at her the same exact thing she just said. Right now we dressed him up at the time when he was a newborn. He's 6 now, but he was a puppy.
He was a puppy, a
He
newborn.
was a
The next year he was the
mouse.
mouse, and the
And
next
then
year he
he
was
didn't even
Boss
have a
Baby.
costume the next year. She put him
No,
on
he
a
was just in a
church
little
suit that we
suit,
had him and
and
combed his
I
hair
fixed his
down,
hair
and
like Boss Baby.
she said he looked like Boss Baby. I said he looked like Eddie Munster off of
He
the
had his
show The
little like
Munsters.
hair
But
all
anyway,
down. It was really
I told her it's not going to stay this way. Right now, you can pick and choose his costume. You're the one being able to do that. But there is going to be a time as he gets older, mom ain't going to be able to participate in picking his costume. And then you ain't going to
cute.
be
Yeah.
able one day just because, okay, well, I ain't going to do it no more. Well, you've done got me started in something, mom or dad. Why we've done this our whole
Why
lives?
stop now?
Why we quit now? Why the sudden change? And can you
Mhm.
stop it? Yeah, I would like to think so, but it's a lot more easy just to cut it off. Don't ever let it start.
Yeah.
Don't begin it. Don't even get them into that
Cohen's
kind of
never been
stuff.
dressed up.
And it's opening doors to a lot of things. And Halloween, say, well, it's all about just if it's about candy, go buy your children, go buy your kid a bag of
Man, my
candy.
kids get candy every single day of
Our
life.
boys eat, and it's probably not right. We're bad parents for that, I know. They get Reese cups, they get Hershey's, they get them all day of life, so they're not dependent upon one night going knocking on somebody's door and getting some candy. Plus, people are crazy these days. You never know what you're going to come up onto.
Yeah. Some I've even heard of some people finding like needles into their
All
candy
right, so we'll
and
leave it at
crazy
that for
stuff.
that stuff there, but it's not all fun and games. Halloween weather, and listen, I know this episode here will probably get a lot of backlash. It'll probably we don't say the stuff we say just for a debate. And honestly,
Mhm.
for us, and I say this as humbly and I guess as
Oh,
our
I'm sorry.
minds is not going to be changed on where we stand with Halloween because we are standing upon the Word of God and what the way we interpret the Word of God. And when I'm saying the way we
Yeah.
interpret it, in Ephesians 5 and 11, it says, "Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them." And then it says in 1 Corinthians 10 and 21, "You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons. You cannot partake of the table of the Lord and the table
Of the
of
devil.
demons."
That's mine says.
And the Bible, it goes over this. Let me read you a verse into Deuteronomy, actually a few verses. It says, "When you come into the land that the Lord your God is giving you, you shall not learn to follow the abominable practices of these nations, or of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone who burns his son
Is that the baby?
or his daughter as an
I'll be
offering.
right back.
Anyone who practices divination or tells fortunes or interprets omens, or a sorcerer, or a charmer, or a medium, or a necromancer, or one who inquires of the dead. For whoever does these things is an abomination to the Lord, and because of these abominations, the Lord your God is driving them out before you. You shall be blameless before the Lord your God." So right there, guys, it names off a bunch of stuff. It goes through, it says about a medium, a charmer, a necromancer, one who inquires of the dead. When you look up Halloween and you dig into, that's everything Halloween is. That's its origins. That's what it's based upon. That's what it celebrates. That's what people who truly like the occultists and the Satanists. That's what it is all about. That is what it's solely focused upon, is those things. And again, I know you're saying, well, we ain't doing none of those things. We ain't participating in those things. But guys, that is where its origins is at. That is what it is celebrating. That is what you are taking your kids out for. All these like trick or treating. I'm gonna let Brianna sit down, but trick or treating is not just about getting your kids candy. That had an origin. That had actually a different purpose back when it first began than what it does now. And many of these things that we were thinking is just fun and games, guys, there was dark meanings behind them, and it's a lot
So
different than
sorry
what it
about
looks
that.
like now. So, Brianna,
Penny Poor was crying. I'm
oh, that was
totally
24.
lost. Yeah, that was 24.
Oh, I was just talking about all the things that was forbidden in Deuteronomy, like witches, sorceries, mediums, necromancers, people who inquire of the dead. And I was just saying that's all what
Mhm.
Halloween is. That's
Yeah,
all what Halloween
that's very true.
celebrates. And yet
Yes.
we just pay it no attention.
We just want to turn it around like it's just for fun,
Right.
just to participate in Halloween.
And again, we don't pass no judgment. We warn and
No, I'm
we
not
would
judging one
encourage.
person, but
We would
if I
encourage
could change
believers not
someone's
to.
mind not to participate into it for the sake of Christ, it's worth a
Yes.
shot.
It's not being, oh, you're trying to be more holier than thou or this or
Definitely
that.
not.
And this is not judging. You know, a lot of people, oh, you're just trying to judge me, or you're trying,
Did we have an episode on that? We need to tag that too. I thought we did.
maybe. And guys, that Bible verse, we try taking stuff out of context. That Bible verse don't even mean what a lot of people is quoting it to mean.
Everybody says you're judging me.
If you really want, we are to judge things. When something is not right according to the Bible, we are to call it for it's not right.
You're supposed
That's
to
that's
call
not
it out
judging.
and
Me judging somebody, there's two types of judging, and we're going to get off of this, but it's me looking out the window, seeing somebody walk down the street, and I'm saying, oh, hey, he's going to rob the place next door. He's going to make a drug deal or something. It's hard to be so explicit. That's probably not good. But that's
oh
judging. I have no
gosh.
idea what that person's doing. Okay,
Yeah.
then there's another type of judging. Me and Brianna's on this episode. We're telling you guys the origins of Halloween, to avoid it, and do this and that. And then
Or saying they're going to hell for doing it.
yeah,
Is that
and
what you're
then
meaning?
October 31st, me and Brianna dress the kids up and we
We're
take them
out
out trick or treating.
trick or treating
We're
with you
trying to
guys.
hold you guys to a standard that we ourselves are not living in, uh, staying in our own selves. You know, when you read
Yeah.
that Bible verse that we also always says not to judge, actually, he told him before he judges his brother to make for sure he can see clearly himself, to remove the beam out
Mhm.
of his own eye. Then he can see clearly to take the speck out of his brother's. It's talking about holding
Yeah.
somebody to a standard that you yourself are not living. and we are not
Mhm.
to do that as Christians.
Yep.
That's what that is talking about. Anyway, we'll get off that. Brianna, you want to kind of go from there?
Um, no, just keep on going.
Um, so what we really recorded this episode for, and we've done been 20 minutes. I can't believe it. Um,
We say we're gonna be short and then we're long, but
it's been a while since we've been on here, so forgive us. But
yes.
we want to encourage you guys. I There is things we can do on October. I don't know if I just said December 31st a minute ago or October. Forgive me if I said December. I feel like
I
I just
have
said
no clue
December,
what
but
you
I meant
said.
October. But October 31st,
Halloween day.
there is things we can do. Halloween day.
I
Me
we
and
had this conversation earlier.
Me and Brianna's had this conversation. Now I'll tell you what our dilemma was, and then we'll leave it at this. But
We're not gonna argue on
we will not argue. We done had our share of that before.
here.
I lost. I probably
Not
got a black
really.
eye. Um, is there anything redeemable of Halloween itself? I'm talking about no, there is not. Halloween is an evil, demonic day that celebrates and that many people practices evil, wicked, abominable things. I can't find enough words to keep going on. There is nothing redeemable about Halloween, but October 31st, the day itself, is the day
Mm.
we can redeem the time, as the Bible says in Ephesians 5 and 15. It says, "Look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise." It says, "Making the best use of time because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is. His will for us is that we would be lights in a dark world, that we would be witnesses to him unto the ends of the world." And October 31st, Halloween Day, is a good day for you to be used by God. Listen, there's going to be tons of people up and down the streets. If you want to set out a booth at the end of your driveway,
Don't dress up.
I'm going to get into
Don't
that.
don't have
um,
your place decorated
if
for
you want to,
Halloween with big ghosts everywhere
if you
and
want to have your pocket stuffed with tracts, if you want to have your purse stuffed with
go to the
tracts,
Dollar Tree, get some
listen, yeah,
Bibles.
you can go to the dollar store. You can get some cheap
I mean, it's not for the
Bibles.
kids, but
Um,
I mean, it is, but I
you
mean,
can. It's only a day away now, but if you have a local Christian store around you guys, if you're in like Effingham area per se, I don't know, Effingham, Illinois,
they got
there's
a
a little
Christian
Christian
store.
store
If it's
there.
open, I don't know if it's open on the
If you're in
weekends.
Texarkana, Arkansas, per se, there's a Baptist bookstore. If there's Christian stores around.
Springfield, Missouri's got a good Christian store if you're around
Mardell's,
there.
I think is what it's called. Or I'll tell you, actually, Hobby Lobby possibly
Yeah, Hobby
has.
Lobby's got some
Hobby
good Christian
Lobby
stuff.
probably has Christian tracks. If
Yeah.
not, you can look up, what is it, gospeltrack.com, I believe,
You ain't gonna get them in one day.
Moments with a Book, livingwaters.com. You can get expedient delivery. You might
Hey,
have them in a
sometimes
day.
the Dollar Tree has like little stuff you can give out Christian-y.
So
Like
get
even
some,
like little books
get some
or
gospel tracks, get some stuff, and give it out.
you can
Now,
even write on a piece of paper or get like them little notebook things, like them
you got a printer, you
things
can probably
and
print some stuff
write
out.
out some Bible
Everybody's got a
verses
printer,
and give them out.
pretty much. We didn't have one for years. We still.
Okay, back to the thing we was arguing
In
about.
order to give out these, though, listen, just because it's Halloween, you don't have to dress up to give out a gospel tract. You don't
No.
have to decorate your house to give out gospel tracts. There is a way to be useful in this world, to reach the world without becoming the world. And this has been a heavily debated topic for many years by
So
many
debated.
denominations. We think in order to reach the world, we have to become the world. Well, in order to reach the world, if we become the world, look like the world, smell like the world, taste like the world, act like the world, how are we going to reach them? We have become them. There's no longer reaching them because we
Yeah.
are them. It can't happen. And people will say, well, uh, the end justifies the means. Well, let me just give you guys this. The means determine the end. Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
You cannot become the world to reach the world. It's never going to work. Now, I'm all about being relevant. I'm all about getting down on people's levels, but we don't have to participate in Halloween and in the wickedness of it in order to reach people on that day.
Yeah.
The debate, me and Brianna, not really a debate, but the discussion we had, I said, you can give out, and for full disclosure, we don't have nobody coming to our door. We live down like just a little road where I've never seen. We've been here for I don't know how many Halloweens now, and I've
Have we
never.
been here for Halloween?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah. I've never
Here
had.
at this spot.
Yes, we've never had a trick or treater.
I don't remember that.
We have. We've never had a trick or treater knock on our door. Even when we was in Texarkana, we never had a trick or treater knock on our door. So that being said, we ain't had this opportunity to do what we're saying, but we carry out our daily business, leaving tracts, giving tracts, whatever. Um, I said, for the kids, maybe they'd accept it better if we had a candy bar or something to give with them. She said, well, then you're participating in trick or treating.
What do y'all think about that? Leave a comment. I'd like to know what people
And
think
for full
about that.
disclosure, I'm not talking about Halloween candy because that's
He's
demonic
talking
in
about like
itself.
the go to Walmart, buy the 12 pack of Hershey's, 12 pack of Reese's,
And
give them out.
if
But
somebody
it's
comes
to
to your
me that's the
door to
same
give a
thing.
track and give the candy bar, I'm not saying we don't do it. I'm not
We
saying
don't
that,
do
but
it.
I would not think less of somebody for doing that. You're just
I don't think less of people for doing that, but do I think that's taking part in Halloween?
in a way,
Yes.
it's borderline. I see what Brianna is saying. It's borderline taking part
But no, I don't
into it.
condemn anybody for doing it.
So
People has their own free will. Do what you want.
you don't
But
have to dress up to give out a track.
Romans 12:2, hold on, says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind.
Yes, and that word conform there is very interesting. It
Yeah.
means resemble. Don't resemble the
The
world.
world.
To be transformed. That's like metamorphosis. You're changed.
We're not, once we're saved, we're not the same people. There ought to be a change.
Yes. And this is something actually pretty good to note too. There has been Satanists, people who had places in like the Satan church, if you can say such a thing, who was real deep into like witchcraft and the occult and all those things. There has been people who has come out of that and who is born again. They are believers now. And I find it very interesting that none of them celebrate Halloween. They want
Yeah.
nothing to do with it. They have boycotted it. They've truly cut ties with it. Why? Because they knew its true origins. They
Yeah.
knew really what it was celebrating. And I know we always hear this now, everybody uses it. But there was this man, it was Anton LaVey, I believe was his name, and he said, I'm so happy, or I'm so pleased, I'm paraphrasing, that Christians at least let their children one night of the year worship Satan by dressing up in costumes. So
You
guys,
told me not to post that on Snapchat, and then you say it on Facebook and Spotify.
everybody says it. I mean, that's the reason I say not to, just because everybody always says it. But this is my point, and we will try to end at the 30-minute mark. Say, and again, we've went over everything. Listen at this other episode that we're talking
We're gonna
about.
tag the other episode
We'll
in,
tag it
so
and stuff. But
if we figure out
Halloween
how.
is for real, legitimate, dark, evil, demonic day.
Oh wait, I want to say one more thing too, if I can find it
Okay,
before we close.
can I say this though before you
Yep,
get
go
to that?
ahead.
Say that it wasn't, and I'm just using like a just per se. Say that it was nothing wrong with it at all, but there was rumors that it wasn't right or this or that. Does the Lord mean so little to us? Is our salvation not? I'm not talking about like, oh man, you dress your child up, you ain't saved. I'm not saying nothing like that, but does the Lord mean so little to us that a piece of candy means more? We have to do this. Say there's nothing wrong with it. Wouldn't it be better just to like kind of stay on the cautious side? Maybe there ain't nothing wrong with this, but Lord, you mean more to me than this. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to avoid it. Just because, God. Just because I want to try my hardest to be closer to you, to serve you to the best of my ability, and to abstain from all appearances of evil. I'm going to do that. Just a thought. Okay, Brianna, sorry.
Okay, the Bible does warn against engaging in occult practices or celebrating things that glorify evil or the demonic. Ephesians 5:11 says, "Have nothing to do with fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them." If Halloween is seen as promoting evil or darkness, such as glorifying witches, demons, or death, if you're a Christian, not some, not, I think personally myself thinks if you're a Christian, you need to avoid participating in Halloween.
Yes. Well said.
That's all I wanted to say.
So guys, we encourage you, don't just hide in your house and close the doors, let down the blinds and turn all the lights out. Be productive.
Be a witness.
Be
Go
a
out, be a
witness.
witness.
Share the gospel. Hand out some tracts. Be ready to engage somebody in a conversation. Be like, hey, you have any spiritual beliefs? You believe in heaven and hell? Where are you gonna go when you die? Don't make them think you're gonna kill them or nothing. I mean, but I'm always
Oh
shy of asking people
gosh.
that because it kind of sounds like you're fixing to murder them or something. But anyway, guys, you get what I'm meaning. Be a witness. Low power mode. Be productive, and by all means, be a light for the glory
Yes.
of God. Thanks for
Definitely.
listening, and
Well, we'll see you next
we'll see
time.
you next
We don't
time.
know when though.
We don't know when. On We
On We Think
Think
Biblically.
Biblically.